while we fight back against SCOTUS's ruling that dilutes black voting power, we'll keep representing the people, okay? Now, you heard her say, a member of the Congressional Black Caucus, she tweeted, or added rather, the Congressional Black Caucus, and she said that we are working for all the people, and you heard her say it, okay? She said not just black people at the end, and who did that sound like? Listen to this.
Any policy that will benefit black people will benefit all of society. Let's be clear about that. Let's really be clear about that. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
So I know by now you've heard of the Voting Rights Act that has the DNC and their shields up in arms. And I keep hearing in my comment section how the sky is falling. But here's my question to black Americans. What is anybody going to do to us that isn't already happening? See, what people don't understand who aren't foundational black American is we don't care about the CBC losing their seats because they don't do anything for us anyway. And speaking of the CBC, why is Yvette Clarke, who is the head of this organization, who is Jamaican, representing me and my family when she has no ties to my lineage? Would I be able to go to Jamaica, become a part of the government, and start representing the Jamaican people? The answer is hell no. So when people with immigrant backgrounds come to me and say, CJ, why don't you make videos about Donald Trump and what he's doing? The answer is making videos about Donald Trump does nothing to help my ethnic group. We know he's there. We can deal with him because we can see him coming. But you know where the danger lies? It lies with these melanated people who act like they care about black American issues, but on the low, they secretly don't. So here's what I want from the CBC. I want the CBC to stay the hell out of our business. We need our own caucus that's specifically worried about foundational black American issues. So let's dive into this video and see if we can get a little bit more understanding of why the CBC has been a complete failure to me and my people. And we can let Yvette Clarke and the rest of her organization do what they've always done. Take care of her and her fellow immigrants.
Look, I don't really know what to say to some of my black American people no more because your eyes are so wide shut. They are running around here, yelling and screaming, acting like a fool. The Black Caucus, who is all immigrants, y'all. Those are all immigrants. They're not you. They are getting paid to bring you down and put you in last place and put their people before you. How can you let them tell you that you have no rights here to vote, but they have rights to be on the ballot and they wasn't even born here? These are immigrants on the ballot. How did they even get voted on? And then they're going to tell us that only black Americans now can't vote. They lost their rights. They don't tell the Chinese that. They don't tell the Arabs that, the Latinos, the Hispanic, the Jamaicans, the Africans. They don't tell them that. They don't tell people from Russia and India and all these other places they can't vote. Why are they only saying black American only? Pay attention. And then you got them yelling, we won't go back. Where did they go? Where did they come from to go back? They wasn't in these civil rights streets without parents and grandparents. When they got here, everything was handed to them from the racist white man that wanted to see us go down. They spend more money for them to bring us down. That's where they get their money from, y'all. They are not us. Pay attention. They use our ancestors, keep us in that victimhood mentality so they could get paid. So now it's all over. And now you see the attitudes. These people came here to ruin black America and America. And y'all don't see it. Ain't y'all tired of them using our ancestors talking about the shit that they been through, but they never went through that. They never been in shackles, chained up, slaves for 400 years, Jim Crow. No. But they'll talk about it like if it happened to them and they get the benefits from it. What is wrong with y'all? They are using you. Democrat Party are using you. Damn, when y'all gonna say enough is enough? And these are the same black folks, fake black people, because they are all immigrants, is the one denying your reparations. And you don't even see that. They the ones that keep voting no for your reparations. Because they don't want you to have it. And the white man that signed their check don't want you to have it. And they use them. Wake up, y'all. Please wake up.
Oh man, Auntie ain't speak nothing but facts. So if you're a black American, if you're a foundational black American, and you keep wondering, why isn't the CBC stomping hard for us to get reparations? It's because they know them and their family won't get a penny from it. So it's not in their best interest to stomp hard for reparations. We keep wondering, why aren't we getting any specific set-asides? Education, housing, community programs for these kids. Why is there no specific set-asides for black Americans that's just for us? Because these people, these melanated people, know that them and their family can't get anything from it, so it's not in their best interest to stomp for us to get specific stuff. Pay attention to what's going on.
Investigating the Pan-African Tether Caucus, presented by Tethers of TikTok.
Black Caucus has been helping Israel. They've been helping AIPAC. They will help anybody but us. But they are bought and paid for by AIPAC. So once you understand this, and once you see this video, you will understand why nothing is getting done for the black community. They're not passing any bills for the black community. That so-called reparations bill that people keep asking Jim Clyburn about, which actually isn't real reparations, there is a reason why they are not moving on these pieces of legislation. They don't intend to. They exist there in Congress only for symbolic reasons and for you to think that you have representation when you do not. Listen to what they say.
So I think you know that AIPAC is both a grassroots organization and also a leadership empowerment organization. So a particular concern to us are not African Americans, but those African Americans that will be part of the Congressional Black Caucus.
Pause. So here is AIPAC letting you know that they're not really interested in what black people need. They're not interested in the black community. They're not interested in these African Americans. But what they're interested in is recruiting black Americans that will be a part of the Congressional Black Caucus. Does anyone not find that to be problematic? They're not thinking about your needs. They ain't thinking about no damn reparations. They're not thinking about what the black community needs. They're just thinking about recruiting black people to be a part of the Congressional Black Caucus.
See, that's the frustrating part. The frustrating part is they're playing right in our faces. They are telling us that they don't plan on doing anything for the black community. And we don't even have to be told. All we have to do is look around. Look around. What are they doing for us currently? And what have they been doing for us in the years leading up to here? Now, all of a sudden, they're about to get their seats taken. And here they come crying to black America. I don't want to hear it. I don't care if you get your seats taken, because we need our own representation. People who are from our lineage, who have ties to us, who care about our future. Because these people, these immigrants that are in the CBC, they do not.
What is on the ballot is they could wipe out with one goddamn ruling more than 30 black congressional seats. And That means right now the Congressional Black Caucus is the largest caucus in the United States Congress, and this Supreme Court could literally wipe out half of the damn Congressional Black Caucus. So don't tell me you're being too emotional. Don't tell me it doesn't matter. Right now, they're looking to wipe out Congressman Cleaver in Missouri. They're looking to wipe out Congresswoman Sykes in Ohio.
Why does roly-poly think that we care about him yelling? Don't he know that don't work? Don't he know we don't listen to him? We don't even, and furthermore, we couldn't care less about the CBC. The CBC is filled with a bunch of melanated immigrants who are put in place by AIPAC to practice benign neglect against Black Americans. You've never served us. You serve everybody but Black Americans. We do not care. To hell with all y'all.
Hey, keep saying they're going to wipe out this guy and they're going to wipe out this lady. And then what? We're going to get the same treatment that we've been getting. Nothing. This dude Roland Martin acting like if they wipe them seats out or if they keep the seats, all of a sudden something's going to change. Whether they go or whether they stay, they don't do anything for us. What doesn't he get about that?
The Black Democrats aren't even hiding the agenda of use Black people to vote for us, but help everybody else. Now, next you're going to hear from Representative Sidney Comlinger Dove from California. She's been there since 2023 as a House of Representative member, but she went on to Politics Nation with Al Sharpton and said this.
As Representative Fields said, this is a devastating blow to Black voters, to minority voters. That is why the Congressional Black Caucus is going to be making its way down to Louisiana to remind voters that they still have an obligation to fight and that we are going to meet this moment in the courts as well as in the streets. You know, Clarence Thomas hopefully should find a piece of his Black self and come on down to Louisiana with us. But it is important to note that many of us that are African Americans in Congress do not represent minority seats. We are doing the work of all of the people, Republicans, Democrats, Black folks, white folks, Asian folks, brown folks. And when we do our jobs, we are fighting for everyone and that the tide rises for all of the votes. And so we still have an obligation to remind folks that, yes, you have your power is in your vote. And if you level the playing field, if you allow it to be equal, then let all of the candidates run and leave it to the voters to decide who is going to represent them the best. That's what I have had to do in all of my time in elected office. I've been honored to represent districts that are incredibly diverse, but I am serving all of the people, not just Black people.
And that's the problem. Why are you serving all the people? The Hispanic caucus doesn't do that. The Asian caucus doesn't do that. They represent their people specifically. So if you're going to be serving all of the people, then quit talking to us about voting for you.
Repeat to you what she said because she actually tweeted it. She goes, most members of Congress like me are not from majority Black districts. At the Black Caucus works for all Americans to ensure a rising tide lifts all boats. While we fight back against SCOTUS's ruling that dilutes Black voting power, we'll keep representing the people, okay? Now, you heard her say, the member of the Congressional Black Caucus, she tweeted, or added rather, the Congressional Black Caucus, and she said that we are working for all the people, and you heard her say it, okay? She said not just Black people at the end, and who did that sound like? Listen to this.
Any policy that will benefit Black people will benefit all of society. Let's be clear about that. Let's really be clear about that. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit Black people. No.
Yes, that was Kamala, who's also from California, says, I'm not going to do something that just benefits Black people. No, right? So that's why I said that this agenda is being spoken out loud and proud, right?
Facts. They saying it with their chest right to our faces. Right to our faces. So everybody else has their own caucus plus you guys.
yes, we'll use black votes, but we're going to help everybody. But I always ask this, what does the Hispanic caucus's mission say? They don't say marginalized people and all other people. They say Hispanics.
Not only does it only say Hispanics, Auntie, but it also, they wouldn't let a Puerto Rican on their board to be the head of it. The Asian caucus would not invite a Japanese person to be the head of it. So why in Black America, in foundational Black America, why do we have a Jamaican that's heading ours?
Okay, the Asians as well, even the Caribbeans, okay, they all have caucuses. They don't say all others, right? Or even black people. It's the Black Caucus. That's black folks or African Americans and other marginalized groups of people. So again, there she is with Al Sharpton just speaking it all out loud. Yeah, we'll lead off with blacks, but of course we're going to help all people. My thing is, how do y'all have time to help all people when black folks here in America that send y'all to office have so many needs and issues that have not been dealt with? How is that you find the time, ma'am? And I see you a lot there in Congress, and you real spicy, right? You kind of like Jasmine Crockett diet, right? Jasmine Crockett light. What do you mean? Right? You kind of like the amen section where people are talking and things like that. But there you are saying, I'm not just gonna help black people. Then why you keep talking about the Congressional Black Caucus, ma'am? Why you keep talking about black people?
Think about what Auntie is saying. If you're not only going to help black people, why do you keep coming up on these platforms only speaking to black people? Why not go talk to all the people that you're helping? I don't hear y'all mentioning white people because there's white people in these same districts too. These districts are not 100% black. I can clearly look outside, go around the town, right, where I live, and see people of other ethnicities and other races in the communities with black people. Why ain't you talking to them? Why ain't you talking to the Asians that are in those districts? Why aren't you talking to the Hispanics that are in those districts? Why aren't you talking to the Africans, the Jamaicans? Why aren't you talking to all these other ethnic groups that are in those districts? Why do you keep specifically talking to us if you're not only going to help us?
Because again, I don't hear the Hispanics talking like that. The Asians or nobody else. I always see you so-called black folks representing black people, and I say that lightly. I always see y'all run around talking about everybody else's issues. But then when this United States Supreme Court decision came down about, you can't use race in a sense to rope off districts. Now y'all back to talking about blacks. But y'all talk about us from a victimhood standpoint. And we gonna keep fighting. So y'all all gonna go to Louisiana, and do what, ma'am? What are y'all gonna do there besides rebel rouse and scream and howl? What are you gonna do? You're not going to do anything. You're just going there for show. You're going to take all your cameras and get in front of all these microphones. And you're going to say the same things you always say. We're going to overcome. We're going to continue to fight. Nobody believes you, ma'am. Nobody believes you're going to do a doggone thing for black folks. Because you're not, okay? You're going to act like you are. But then you're going to do the real agenda. And that's help everybody else. Because we know, especially when Trump came into office, yes, y'all picked up illegal immigration as if it was near and dear to your heart. And again, y'all, Auntie Maxine and back alleys chasing them behind ICE. And, Karen Bass, who was the mayor there in Los Angeles, she's chasing ICE out of parks and giving illegal immigrants Angelino cards. And you got Assemblyman Isaac Bryan, he's marching the streets, for illegal immigration while practicing benign neglect of black folks there in Los Angeles, California. So you're going to go to Louisiana and do what? You're going to help those black folks? Or you just going to say, hey, listen to us bloviate even more than we do on a normal basis? I'm just asking. So yeah, y'all pay attention to when they speak. She told y'all, I'm not making this up, that I'm not going to just help black people. I'm not helping just black people. She says all. Okay, these aren't my words. Those are hers. So you can rewind this back and listen to it again if you didn't hear it the first time, but said the same thing Kamala said. And it's not only something they're saying, it's stuff that they're doing. They're helping all but black folks. So anyway, y'all let me know what you think of that. And for more insightful commentary, please.
Man, that's a great video. I'm going to leave you guys with this. Think about this. Foundational Black Americans, think about this. Why is nobody else's caucus stomping for everybody except the CBC? Except supposedly our caucus. They're going to stomp for the LGBTQ. They're going to stomp for immigrants. They're going to stomp for everybody except us specifically. When it comes to us, I'm not going to do anything for them specifically. But when it comes to these other groups, they're going to stomp for them. But you don't see the Asian caucus stomping for all those other groups. You don't see the Hispanic caucus stomping for all other groups. But you see this one doing for everybody except us. Listen, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm out.